Alright, before we get started on story, let's do some supports. I know there's kind of a lot, but want to get it done. I do have enough to get an A rank with Rhea. Can I talk to? Flame, rank B? Alright, we're just gonna skip that. Sorry, Flame, but we've seen it before. Manuela, rank C. We're gonna skip that too, sorry. He's hungover or something. Probably heard it before. What an Ignatz.
Hey, Ignatz. Getting lost in your imagination again?
No, today I am praying. I'm hoping that if I pray with all my might, she will appear before me.
The goddess, you mean?
Yes. Perhaps it's strange to think about such things.
Nah, you're fine. If I had the chance to meet the goddess, I certainly wouldn't say no. Especially your version of the goddess, huh? A total looker, isn't that right?
Quad.
That's a disrespectful way of putting it. I just believe that she's a divine beauty. She'd have to be, considering how she mesmerized the people of Fodlan when she walked among them.
Too true. No doubt an incomparable beauty, that one. Funny to think that even now she must be somewhere, right? Well, I guess she's just floating on a cloud or whatnot.
Yes, indeed. Watching over us from above. And they say that someday she will return to walk amongst us again.
Well, don't mind me. You go ahead and get some good praying in. If the goddess appears, you let me know, okay?
What? No! If she does appear, I want it to just be the goddess.
Oh, Ignatz.
It'll be way better if I'm there too. I'm saying this for your benefit, Ignatz.
Why?
Imagine an incomparable beauty standing before you. Do you really think you'll be able to remain calm?
Well, that is to say...
But if I'm there, I can smooth things over. Have a nice chat, invite her to tea, everything a goddess deserves.
Oh, well, I suppose that makes sense.
Can't believe that worked.
Of course it does. Now, get on with it. Pray like you've never prayed before.
I can't believe Cloud was like, dude, let me be your wingman. And Ignatz was like, oh, okay, actually, yeah, I'll do that.
Marianne, please accept my apologies for my behavior yesterday.
I'm not sure what you mean.
Asking you about your family like that was pretty insensitive of me. No matter how curious I am, that's no way to treat someone. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. You weren't being insensitive. I just didn't want to talk about it. I don't spend much time talking about myself. Not to people, anyway.
If not people, then with who? Unpeople? Non-people?
Well, yes. I'm much more comfortable talking to anyone who isn't a person.
I was actually joking, but now I'm mystified. Who is it you like to talk to?
Dorte the horse.
Ah, of course. Good old Dorte. And does he understand what you tell him?
We understand each other. He tells me when he's sleepy, or when his stomach hurts, or if his nose itches.
Sounds like a complainer, that Dorte. But let's table this fascinating discussion for just a moment. Now that we've gotten in some small talk, I'd like to know what you're hiding. You are hiding something, right? Your lineage, perhaps?
No.
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If it's all just idle gossip, that's fine too. But if it's something silly like, my ancestors were cursed, therefore I'm cursed, you should know that I won't accept that nonsense. That sort of thinking is stupid, and that's all there is to it. Say your ancestors were thieves. Does that make you a thief, even if you've never stolen a thing? Of course not.
But people have burdens to bear from the moment they're born. My burdens are so big that I'm sorry, I can't discuss this anymore.
People certainly are born with burdens. She's right about that. But Marianne, don't you know that you can choose not to carry them?
it just my imagination, or did Claude strike a nerve?
There's really no better place for my midday nap than under the shade of a nice big tree. The twittering of the little birds. It's like they're singing a lullaby just for me. Ah! Is that a dagger? Am I being ambushed?
Claude, why are you lazing about? You should be training.
Shamir! Is this your doing? Talk about unfriendly. Another inch and you would have sliced my handsome nose clean off my roguishly beautiful face.
But I didn't. Fortunately for you.
You know, if you wanted to give me a talking to, you could have done so with your words instead. That's how most people do the talking thing.
Conversation was not my intention.
Well, what then? A prank? That's not better.
You're one to talk,
I thought
Claude.
we were under attack. I could have died from the shock.
Look closely at the dagger.
Is that... right. There's a poor spider impaled on it.
A poisonous spider. The tiniest bite from which can cause fever, headache, and relentless vomiting. Or worse.
Yikes. I guess this little guy is more vicious than he looks.
I noticed it descending towards your face.
Ah, so you saved me from a certain doom. Well, in that case, I'm sorry for questioning your motives. I promise to repay the favor someday.
I'll keep that in mind.
Wow, so that's what the greatest sniper of all the knights is capable of. Absolutely incredible.
Dang, Spears got a heck of a throwing arm. Lorenz and Lysithea, this is gonna shake out.
Picking wildflowers? Seems such a common activity for someone like you.
To me, the most beautiful flower is the one that blossoms by its own strength. Lysithea, please accept this as...
Knock it off! Sorry. It's just that the thorns are a bit sharp, and I'm not a fan of killing nature.
True sympathy, even for the smallest wildflower. I admire your kindness. When you inherit your house, that kindness will be a balm to your subjects. They and the neighboring lords will trust you instinctively.
Politics. Again.
The Alliance has been harmed in the past by lords who thought only of themselves, who saw others as a means to an end. But you understand others' pain. With you around, I am quite hopeful that the Alliance will flourish again.
That's not something you should get your hopes up about. House Ordelia will end with my father.
I'm sorry? I understand you have a distaste for politics, but could you really allow a noble house 3 centuries old to fall to ruin? This goes beyond you and even your house. What would become of Fodlan if all its noble houses withered away in such a manner? The people would be in disarray. The balance of power would crumble. Chaos would rule.
No, it's just... my body, unfortunately, is not built to last. And I have no siblings. When I die, that's the end.
What?
It's a bit of a revelation.
Noble birth has been nothing but a source of pain for me. For me, and for my parents. We got sucked into the rebellion in the Empire, and it led to... many responsibilities for us. The things we went through. I can hardly bear to speak of it. All I want now is to give my mother and father the chance to live out their years in peace. I intend to do whatever I can to ease the hardships of our people, while I still have life left in me. Naturally, I worry about what will come to pass after I'm gone. But I'm sure things will work out, so long as there are people like you around working so hard for a better future.
So you have been thinking of the future, even despite all of that. I am so sorry. I had no idea. Lysithea, I have offended you most persistently. Please find it in your heart to forgive my impudence.
Don't worry about it. If you're so insistent upon being my friend, I'm sure more tasty snacks and tea will help persuade me. But if speaking of the future holds such importance, better to find someone who actually has one.
I understand. Yes, let's take tea together again soon.
Alright, so I knew that about Lysithea. I did not... I guess I just didn't expect that to come up in a support with Lorenz. Anyway, speaking of Lorenz, let's see what he has to say to Manuela.
Ah, Lorenz. Do you have a moment to spare, my dear?
Hello, Professor Manuela. I trust all is well with you.
I am quite well, thank you for asking. You are always such a gentleman.
Thank you for saying so. How may I be of service?
I was wondering if we might spend a little time together. Maybe chat a bit?
Certainly. It is an honor to speak with someone as elegant as yourself. I've just made tea. Would you like a cup?
Oh, that would be just lovely. Lorenz, I hope you won't think it too forward of me, but I was wondering if you could explain a poem to me. It goes like this. Verdant rains soothe my aching heart like a cherished friend. Amid time's flow I mourn, bonds I'm not sure I can ever rend. As my mind clings to desperate thoughts, here it comes, horsebow moon and summer's end.
Oh, that's my poem.
As I suspected, I've checked absolutely everyone's handwriting. It's a sad poem, though, isn't it? Feels lonely, possibly even, dare I say, defeated. What makes you feel that way, Lorenz? Why aren't you happy? I very much want to know.
Well, I suppose Wait, why are you reading my poetry? Where did you even get that?
I found it, and when I saw the words, I read them. Well, that's what people do when they see words. They read them.
Kindly return that at once. Reading someone else's work without permission. What an egregious breach of etiquette. Honestly.
Oh, dear. Snatching at something someone else is holding. How violent. It's not like you to lose your composure, Lorenz.
Please, just forget you ever saw it. I beg you.
I'm afraid I could never forget that peek into the darkness of your soul. Nor would I want to.
Then at the very least, would you kindly promise not to mention it to anyone else?
Don't feel embarrassed. No, be proud. It's a lovely piece of writing. Quite revealing. I'd never guess you'd have such hidden depths. Tell me more.
That's quite enough.
Oh, that's absolutely adorable. So bashful. I simply must hear more of his poetry sometime soon.
Can't believe Manuela is bullying Lorenz. That was definitely worth the price of admission.
My breath.
Careful. You're going to make yourself pass out.
Shamir? I'm so sorry.
Are you trying to breathe like I showed you? Not even close.
That, in-out-out technique sounds so easy, but it's not easy at all.
It's only easy for me because I put in the time to practice. You need to practice if you want it to work.
Oh yeah? Really? So I should be able to do it if I just practice.
Yes.
I see. You had no presence. Again.
Yes. Sometimes my presence fades without even trying. It can be a nuisance.
One of these days, I'm gonna do it, just like you.
Seems unlikely, but keep practicing.
Yeah. Got it. Thanks.
Stop doing it while you're talking. It's disturbing.
Well, that's fun. Glad you're having fun. Yeah, Cygnus and Flame.
Nothing here.
What are you doing?
Oh, Flame! I've just been researching the exploits of Saint Sethlene.
And why is it you're doing that precisely?
Well, painting is a hobby of mine, and I thought I might like to capture her likeness.
Well, how lovely. But how is researching her exploits necessary for painting?
If I wanted to use a statue of Saint Sethlene for my reference, it wouldn't be necessary. But that's not what I want. I wish to paint Saint Sethlene herself, looking exactly as she did when she was alive. And if I don't know anything about who she was on the inside, the image won't be true to life. So I wanted to find some hints about who she was, and that's why I've been researching her deeds.
Ah, so you were hoping to find out what type of girl she was.
Girl? Interesting way of putting it, but yes, more or less.
I see. Yes, it is all quite clear to me now.
What's happening?
Okay then. Allow me to share with you what I know of Sethlene's deeds. Long ago, in a world ravaged by war, Sethlene led a secluded life with her father, Keyhole. One day, they met Saint Zeros, who was grieved by the chaos and destruction of war. And so, the three decided to join forces.
Huh? But I thought the saints gathered following a revelation from the goddess.
At the Battle of Tailtean, they fought against the 10 elites led by Nemesis, who sought to conquer the whole world. Sethlene tended to her allies on the field of battle, until she exhausted all her strength. Then, she fell into a long slumber.
But according to legend, she used her miraculous powers to heal all of the wounded.
Interesting story, is it not? Have you perhaps learned something new about Sethlene?
Having heard all that, I'd say she seems incredible.
Incredible? Well, I haven't heard that before. I feel certain you and I will be fast friends. Let us talk again soon.
Huh. Who knew Flame was such an expert on Sethlene?
Yeah, weird that. Oh man, I love dramatic irony. Lysithea and Hanneman, round 2. Let's go.
Professor Hanneman, is this a good spot for this book?
That will do nicely, Lysithea. I'm sorry to trouble you with these chores.
It's no trouble. After all, it's proper etiquette for the young to help the elderly.
Wow,
The
Lysithea.
elderly? I'm only... Never mind. How have you been feeling of late? Anything worth mentioning?
I've been feeling well enough, all things considered.
You seem to be maturing remarkably. No doubt your well-being is due to the positive influence of your twin crests working in tandem.
Here he goes with the positive again. Looks like your research is more useless than I thought.
I may ignore your assaults on my age, but I will not allow unfettered attacks upon my research. What makes you think it's lacking? Surely you do not deny that your crest-related abilities exceed those of your peers. You are so far ahead of the others. Even the combined effects of the twin crests you bear do not fully account for that discrepancy.
You just can't see beyond the crest, can you? In all your research, haven't you considered that my abilities are a direct result of the effort I put in?
Of course, I am aware that you are a hardworking student, but...
My efforts far exceed those of any other student. I've placed top priority on growing as quickly as possible.
Is the ability to expend such incredible efforts, to be so focused and driven, is that not a form of talent?
It has nothing to do with talent. It's a question of sheer will.
It's got something
I'm
to do with
determined to
it, I
succeed,
think.
no matter the sacrifice.
I see, but what drives you to such lengths?
I have goals, just like anyone, and precious little time in which to achieve them.
Little time?
The people who made me as I am informed me that my life would be drastically shortened as a result. A person bearing 2 crests, against the will of nature itself. Well, clearly it can't be sustainable. As such, I don't indulge in the luxury of fantasizing about the future. I haven't got one. Knowing all this now, do you still claim that my crests are something positive?
I I cannot. Please understand, I had no idea.
I'll be leaving now.
Lysithea. So that is why you were...
Jeez.
I should head back.
Finished with your training, Miss Marianne?
Oh, but Professor Henneman. Yes, I've just finished training for the day.
You have merely completed the exercises assigned to you, yes? Nothing more? Or am I wrong?
Yes. I'm sorry. I should have done more.
No, please. You've done as you were asked. Quite solid work, child. I simply wish to ask a question. You possess a crest, do you not? When you entered the Officers' Academy, your father submitted a request to the monastery, as well as a significant donation. Your father asked that your crest not be confirmed, under any circumstances. At first, I thought he did not want the world to know that his daughter bore no crest. In your father's position as a newly minted noble, it would be most advantageous for his daughter to possess a crest, you see. However, I am now certain I was wrong. I believe you do, in fact, possess a crest of some sort.
How did you find out?
I have been called the Father of Crestology, which is a bit of an ostentatious title, I admit. However, a brief period of observation allows me to hazard a usually accurate guess as to whether a body houses a crest or not. With the knowledge of your father's actions and my own observations, I come to you with a warning. As a crest bearer, you are guaranteed to have certain talents. It is prudent to study your crest diligently to ensure your safe mastery of these talents, whatever they may prove to be.
No. I have no talents.
Oh yes, you do. No matter how hard you may try to hide it, my sight is keener than that. And what I see, others will eventually notice as well. Those who hold power must wield it in the service of their fellow man, Miss Marianne. I believe that is true, whether you are peasant or noble. And doubly true, I would say, for those with crests. Or do you think I'm wrong? On principle alone, it is a waste to allow a rare talent to remain dormant. I would like very much to advise you to aid your understanding of your crest. Will you accept my offer?
No, I refuse.
That is regrettable. A veritable tragedy, Miss Marianne.
Definitely going to want to explore that support later. Catherine's talk. Oh yeah, that's the thing with the coin. Anyway, takes care of the supports. That wasn't so bad this time.